Hello friends and welcome. My name is Dr. Heather Cardin and I will be your live specialist today, helping answer all your keto questions, all your questions you have about our amazing Prove It tools. So as you're joining today, let me know where you're joining from. It's okay to go ahead and invite a friend, a family member, maybe someone you work with to actually join this amazing conversation. We want to help you better understand all the amazing, we have tools here today to help you better upgrade your journey towards better health. So as I said, my name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I am the co-owner of Cardin Center for Wellness in Overland Park, Kansas, where I have practiced over 25 years alongside my husband. I've actually been with this amazing community, the Prove It community, since 2015. So then since the very first flavor that we launched, the orange swirl. So it's been a crazy, amazing blessing and amazing journey to see all the amazing tools which we have actually launched and developed and launched to actually upgrade your health. So you can imagine after just a few years or actually finding out what the amazing Orange Dream, which was the first pure therapeutic exogenous ketone, could actually do for your body. I was so excited to actually have this to offer not only to myself, my family, my friends, also my patients too. So I've actually taught and actually lived and practiced the ketogenic lifestyle for well over 2 decades. So I'd use this in my practice. I had taught patients. I'd actually lived the ketogenic lifestyle myself. I know how hard it can be sometimes to calculate every single macro. Sometimes your health is not optimal. You can have difficulty achieving that state of ketosis. Ketosis means your body's metabolically in a state burning fat for fuel versus being on the standard American diet when we're actually sugar burners. We're consuming a diet high in carbohydrates. It can be all organic, fruits, grains, and we can actually also have a diet that's not organic, but we're still consuming grains and fruits in a higher amount. And that can be things like corn and gluten, also beans, legumes, fruits, vegetables, and then low amounts of fat. Or you can be consuming high amounts of fat, high amounts of carbs. You still end up being a sugar burner. But our bodies were actually designed to be a dual fuel burner. It means our bodies were designed to actually burn glucose, which comes from carbohydrates and proteins, and ketones. However, we know when your body most of the time burns ketones for fuel, which comes from healthy fats, nuts, and seeds, it's far beneficial for your body. So we know that when your body is in the amazing state of ketosis, burning fat for fuel, we know that it's a far more efficient fuel source than glucose, which comes from sugar or carbohydrates. We know you have better memory, better cognition, better recall, better digestion, better skin, better sleep, better moods. We'll do a deeper dive into that, or you can actually just scroll through this page over the past several years and you can actually use the search bar up above or get back with the person that invited you to this page. They can help you find all the amazing resources we have here since 2015. But let's get right down to why you've joined us today, which is to help you better understand all the amazing tools we have. So as you're joining, let us know where you're joining from, what part of the world you're joining from. If you're watching us replay, put replay right down below. If you happen to be mixing up at a crazy nat today, let us know what flavor of nat. If you just completed the May reboot, put reboot down below. Let us know what reboot this is that you finished. It is our amazing 60-hour metabolic reboot system, which helps upgrade your health. Let us know what flavor of Pro you actually kicked off your morning with. So let's get right down to your questions. And don't forget, we just launched our first a brand new flavor of Keto Pro called Vanilla Dream. So don't forget to snag that in the store today. So I'm going to refresh my computer over here so I make sure I get as many questions answered as possible in our time that we have here today. So hello, I would love to have time to shout out everybody's name that's joining us here today, but then I would actually not get the opportunity to get all your questions. So Brittany got her fifth reboot today. So mental clarity. Penny asked, how do ketones help with mental clarity? So ketones do a couple of things that specifically help with mental clarity. First of all, they actually help calm down the nervous system by increasing one of our neurotransmitters called GABA. So when you increase the nervous system, when you actually calm down the nervous system and increase GABA, you calm down another neurotransmitter that actually causes anxiety. So when you calm down the anxiety neurotransmitter, increase our happy neurotransmitters, we also increase the oxygen and a fuel source called ATP almost by 30% to our brain, we increase memory, we increase recall, we increase retention. We also actually increase sleep. And studies show that when you get a better night's sleep, and this is through the American Sleep Institute, this isn't studies done by Prove It, but through the American Sleep Institute, because ketones do help you get a better sleep, you get a deeper sleep, you get into that state of sleep where you actually get to recycle and reset your cortisol level. When you sleep better, your memory's better the next day. But simply when you're in that state of ketosis, after you drink your ketones, one serving puts you in ketosis in less than 59 minutes, that you have better recall, better memory. Because you're getting more oxygen, more ATP to the brain, you're getting better connection, better synapse connection between the two neurons in the brain. It's called better communication between our brain, and then you're getting better connection from the eyes to the brain as well. If you're reading, that memory actually increases. More oxygen to the optic nerve will also help increase that memory. Great question there, because I know I hear all the time people like, where did I park my car? What was on my grocery list? And people say, I don't know what's in this, but all of a sudden I remembered birthdays, I remembered my grocery list, I remember all those sorts of things. So that's always exciting to hear when people still start feeling better, their memory starts to improve from very simple things. So Barbara's asking, does Keto Cream or Keto Pro break your fast? So Barbara, I would say about 95% of the time, and you'll find this on our Prove It YouTube channel, Keto Cream, which is our healthy functional fat that you can put in tea or coffee. Now, if you're going to put it in a milk, it will probably break your fast. So if you put it in a coconut milk, or you put it in an almond milk, or you put it in a chia pudding, it's probably going to break your fast because it's too many carbs and too much protein. But in a coffee or tea, it's probably not going to break your fast because it has 3 different types of MCT, specifically MCT8, which is a medium chain triglyceride. That MCT, because it's such a high quality, will turn quickly into a ketone. If you're already fasting, what that MCT8 does is actually lower your blood sugar or help maintain your blood sugar. And the definition of a fast is anything that increases your glucose level breaks a fast. Also has Ceylon cinnamon in it, which is a great antioxidant, but helps with digestion to actually help maintain that blood sugar. It's great for blood sugar as well. So again, in the collagen, very, very low levels of protein in higher levels, like in a protein shake, can break a fast. So with the Keto Pro, we do have the beta hydroxybutyrate, or the ketone body. We have MCT again, which will turn into additional ketone, and a very specific blend and amount of protein. So the Keto Pro should not break your fast, and neither should the Keto Cream, unless you have maybe a hidden allergy to coffee or caffeine, or maybe it's not a very good quality of coffee. I've seen that break a fast where people use maybe a lesser brand of coffee versus an organic brand. So there can be some variables around that could break your fast, but 90% of the time, it should not break your fast. Great question there. So Stacy says, can you have more than 2 ketones a day and your body gets used to the ketones over time? So yes, you can have more than 2 ketones a day as long as you're a good water drinker. Some people are faster metabolizers than others. So what that means is some people will drink a ketone and they will actually be in ketosis for maybe 2 hours. Other people, depending on your metabolic rate, will drink a ketone and they may be in ketosis for 2 to 4 to 6 plus hours. So if you're a person who's a faster metabolizer, you may want to actually drink 3 ketones a day, or maybe have a ketone and have a keto kick in between there, or a Keto Pro or a broth to give yourself some extra ketones in between. We know that ketones have a mild diuretic effect, so make sure that you're drinking enough water. So oftentimes, I know it tastes so delicious, like, man, I just want to drink Heart Tart all day long, or I just want to drink the strawberry peach all day long. But know that the charges have caffeine. If you're drinking your Keto Cream and coffee, if you're doing the Unleashed, all that caffeine can also be mildly dehydrating. So just make sure you're drinking enough water. So anywhere, I would say 2 NAT a day, 2 Unleashed a day, Plus, you could do an additional you could do an additional of the broth, you could do an additional of the keto kick if you wanted to a day. Just make sure you're drinking enough water. There are no side effects because, again, it's a water-soluble ketone. There are no fats in here, so it will not increase your cholesterol. I saw that question because there are no fats in the ketones when you turn around and look at the keto nat. They are water-soluble, which means your body uses what it needs, and what it doesn't need is simply it excretes out through urination. So your body uses it through the cells for energy, and then when it's done using all the excess, will simply be excreted out. Your body does get adapted to it. So what that means is maybe the first time you tried a keto nat, you had a little bit of GI distress and you got that mild diuretic effect or detox effect. That's actually a good thing. It's just letting you know your body hasn't been in ketosis for a long time. Sometimes it may have been when you were a baby coming into this world, we come in that state of ketosis, or maybe when you're a kiddo running around the playground. You know, if I'm a mom of 4, so I know some kids, my kids will say, you know, they're running around, I'm like, put your coat on, it's snowing outside, but they're sweating around their head. They're like, I'm hot, I'm hot. It's because kids will switch from burning sugar back to burning fat, burning sugar back to burning fat. Our bodies are a dual fuel burner. It's a very natural thing for our body to do. So what all that means is that your body's just metabolically burning fat, then it goes back to burning sugar or glucose and burning fat. So as our body gets more adapted to burn the ketones, you may initially just be in ketosis for a couple hours after during your first keto nat, but maybe after 3 months or maybe after 4 months or 6 months, now your stomach can tolerate 2 keto nat a day. You're in ketosis now for 4 hours after each serving, maybe 5 hours after each serving. So your body will actually just get adapted to it, not used to it, but adapted to it, which is a great thing. You're going to find your ketone level becomes a higher therapeutic level, which is also good. Your glucose will become more stable. You'll have less cravings. Those will start to dissipate away. So you say, gosh, how come I can turn down chips? I don't really need a second cup of coffee. I just drove past my favorite drive-through beverage, whether, you know, it's one of those places you usually would go after school. I'm not going to name out different drive-through drink places, but, you know, I don't need my evening popcorn or coffee anymore, or ice cream or popcorn anymore. I just don't feel those cravings anymore. That's a really good thing. It's not your body getting used to it, it's your body getting adapted to the ketones, which is really, really good. So Anne says, how many hours a day does your body need to be in ketosis in order to be effective for weight loss? So this is a great question. Prove it and keto nat, and our products, they are not weight loss products, because weight loss versus fat loss is very different. Weight loss includes bone, muscle, water, and fat. And we definitely don't want you losing bone mass. We definitely don't want you losing muscle mass. But when you talk about fat loss does occur because ketones actually do help with satiety, which means they help you feel fuller longer. They do help subside cravings for things like salty or sweet. They also give you amazing energy. Number one, I should have said, they give you amazing energy. People have more energy. They're more likely to exercise, go for a walk, do home project, just be up and around more. They get your body's lymphatic system going. They get your muscles going. They're thermogenic, which means they get your metabolism going as well. We also know when you sleep better, it helps regulate your cortisol level better, which can also help fat loss occur. Ketones, or when you're in ketosis, also help protect your lean muscle. So when you lose weight, you can also lose bone and fat. So when you're in ketosis, there's an enzyme called myostatin. We won't get into the science, but it helps protect your lean muscle mass. So as a result of the amazing benefits of keto nat or being in ketosis, people experience fat loss. The rate occurs specifically for your body's own metabolism, your prior eating habits, how that changes for you, whether you are drinking several sodas a day and now you've exchanged it for a keto nat, or maybe you're snacking later at night and now you're doing better intermittent fasting. Maybe you're doing best practices, which is you're doing intermittent fasting a day, you're doing the better meals, a 24-hour fast once a week, and you're doing a 60-hour reboot once a month, and you're doing all those things together. Well, maybe another person, maybe just your partner, is just doing the intermittent fasting and 1 ketone a day and hasn't done any of the reboot or any of the 24-hour fast. So it just really depends. There's no magic number we can give you, but what we do know is that ketones are our body's preferred energy source, working at the cellular level. It's not a stimulant, it is energy at that level. But you can see our amazing Spire on videos, and you will see hundreds of people all having different person experiences different pounds of fat loss that falls off, but also so many other amazing stories about moods and about mindset and about sleep and just how much people have really found their journey towards better health. Also, do you all find it having a difficult time eating, taking ketones? Does it affect any proper macronutrients? So, Anne, that's a great question. So, ketones do create satiety, which means a feeling of feeling fuller, instead of, some people say, I'm hungry all the time, or I can't even tell when I'm hungry, I'm just eating on autopilot. My kids are eating, so I'll eat, or the bottom of the bag fries smell really good, or I always eat at 8 o'clock, or my lunchtime's always noon, and people can't tell when it's time to eat. So what ketones really do is they help turn on some enzymes and some hormones, specifically ghrelin and leptin, which are your hunger and satiety hormones. It actually takes 20 minutes for your stomach, once you start eating, when it's full, to tell your brain, hey, stop eating, I'm full. Because most of us eat too fast, we don't chew long enough, we're not really paying attention when we eat because we're driving or watching TV. So those hormones have gotten really flip-flopped, and we eat processed food, which have been pre-chewed for us. When you say it's processed, it's already been broken down for us, so we don't do that whole digest and process for us. So when those hormones, leptin and ghrelin, have gotten kind of flip-flopped, and we have metabolic syndrome, and we have insulin sensitivity, all those things have actually thrown off how much we feel full when we feel hungry. However, what we do here recommend at Prove It, and why we have the better meals, is so people can get a really good idea of what a proper meal look like. So when we talk about intermittent fasting, you can get 3 good servings of meals in an 8-hour time frame, whether you're eating at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., or however you want to make that time shift happen. We're suggesting that when you do eat, and maybe you're not hungry 12 hours a day, and we wouldn't want you to be hungry 12 hours a day, but a good 8 to 9 hours a day. And that's what we did back in the 1970s. We had 3 squares a day and stopped snacking. And the leading influencers and researchers are all saying, in order for us to slow down what's happening in the world today, the trajectory of obesity and diabetes and heart disease, we have to stop over-consuming, because the average person eats 17 times a day. That was a stat back in 2021. So we have to slow that down. So when you're eating and you have less of cravings, which is great, and you're feeling fuller longer, get those 2 to 3 meals in a day. You're having a good serving of clean protein, 2 or 3 servings of above ground greens, and some healthy fats on top. Whether you're vegan, keto, low carb, paleo, whatever that looks like for you, we are definitely advocating that you eat food. I know you said, what do you do if you're not feeling full or hungry? Start to tap into that and drink your ketones between meals, not right before meals. Now, if you have, if you know yourself and you're like, man, once I start tasting food, I can't just have 1 piece of pizza, or I can't just have 1 taco or 2 tacos. And I would say 2 to 3 tacos is probably a serving if it's a crunchy shell. I like to overserve myself. Well, then you do want to definitely have the ketones about 45 minutes before a meal to help really control that satiation, so you actually get that feedback between your body, your brain, and your stomach saying, I'm full now, as I think I've had enough. But if you're a person wondering, I'm not actually eating enough, then make sure that when you are eating, it's very clean and pure protein. Try the better meal so you get an idea of what a proper amount of protein, fat, and greens or vegetables look like. I saw a great question about diarrhea. So this actually can happen. We talked about this a little bit earlier on about getting used to the ketones or adapting to the ketones. Ketones have a mild diuretic. These are amazingly powerful. They will put your body in ketosis in less than 59 minutes. I have worked with patients where it has taken, even when we lowered the carbohydrates down to 25 total, not net, but 25 total carbs, and it has taken sometimes days to weeks to even a month or so to get people in that natural state of ketosis. This can put you in ketosis, diet independent, no counting carbs, in 59 minutes. This is that powerful. It is bioidentical to what your body makes. So with that being said, it's also a mild diuretic. And so when that happens, it's pulling all those toxins out of the fat cells, the interstitial fluid that's in between the layers of the fat and the skin and the muscle. It's pulling all that out. Also, the major function of your large intestine is to reabsorb water and get ready for evacuation. So when it's a mild diuretic, that's why we have sodium and B vitamins in there to replace what is lost through that normal diuretic process, you're going to get some mild diarrhea. Some people, if they're not good water drinkers, dehydrated, not eating some fiber, they may actually get a little constipated. If you're getting mild diarrhea and it's crampy and it's uncomfortable, then simply just reduce your serving size of the ketones until your body gets adapted to them. Have a little protein, have a little fat. That could be a handful of nuts or seeds, a little chia pudding. It could be a bite or two of chicken salad. Have a little bit of protein, 1 or 2 or 3 ounces with that, fat or protein or a little bit of both. With your ketones, start with a half a serving. Don't do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and that will start to slow down as your body gets adapted. Then increase that slowly. We do have that information in the Help Center. It is here on this page as well, or you can get back with the person to help you make that first purchase. So when to drink the ketones? Great question. So we know they're an amazing energy source. They help do so many amazing things. They help with memory, they help with cognition, they help with digestion, they help with sleep. So simply identify, do I need more energy for my workout? Do I need more energy first thing in the morning because I'm not a good starter in the morning? Or I need help calming down before I have to focus at work and put on a production or put on a seminar, or before I have to take a test? Or do I need help at night calming down? I don't want to do wine or ice cream or popcorn or things like that. I just want to calm down naturally and go to bed. So, or do I want to actually have better performance at the gym? I want to feel really good after I go for my workout in the middle of the day. So whatever the reason is, when you need energy, when you need better focus, when you need to calm your body down, or I need better control so I don't go back for second servings at dinner, when you need that help, when you need that energy at the cellular level, that's when you want to drink your ketones 30 to 40 minutes prior to when you want to be the best version of yourself. So just think, when I said yes to ketones, I need energy. I need to remember my grocery list. I need to remember and feel really good when I come home from work so I can do my duties at home. Or when I wake up, I just need to not hit that alarm 2 or 3 times in the morning. If that's you, wake up, have some water, then have some ketones. Or again, on your way home from work, if you just want to hit the couch and crash, but you know you've got a big list to do, drink them on your way home, which is absolutely amazing. So I see several people asking about things like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, things about hormone disruption. Ketones do not have any hormones in them, nor do they have any fat in them. So specifically for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, it's actually caused from people who consume a high carbohydrate diet. So if we know that ketones help reduce cravings of sugary foods, cakes, cookie pies, donuts, pastas, breads, and we know that when you're drinking keto nat, maybe it's also replacing your sugary iced tea or your sweet tea. Maybe it's replacing a big smoothie that you put bananas and a bunch of fruit in, or it's replacing your soda that has a lot of sugar in it. That's already a win because you're reducing your overall sugar intake for that day by some amazing fuel source that doesn't have any sugar in it. It's all natural. So that also will help reduce or stop increasing the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It doesn't treat, it doesn't cure, but it helps reduce the buildup of that fat around the liver. And then if you start living a more cleaner life, you stop buying processed white bread, start doing some more intermittent fasting, all those things have shown to actually help decrease non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So that's all a big win. When then a second question was about hormones. So again, keto nat, all of our products, they do not treat, they do not cure any disease or any disease problem. They do not replace any pharmaceutical medication. However, what they do is they give your body energy so it starts to perform better, has better communication from your organ to your organ, from your different parts of your brain to different glands, from your brain to the rest of your body. When things start to communicate better, your body starts to actually perform much better. It responds much better. It works better in harmony. Think of it as a traffic jams get all cleared away, like when you're on a highway and there's traffic jams, you're having to take detours and routes and slow down and speed up. That's what happens when there's been injury in your body or there's some dysfunction happening in your body. When you get a cleaner, better fuel source, things work better from your brain to the rest of your body because the brain dictates the function of the rest of your body. So congratulations, Anne-Marie just had her first keto up today. Congratulations, excited for you. Let us know what flavor you are drinking. So I saw 3 or 4 people asking about breastfeeding and pregnancy. So when it's a specific medical condition, whether it's breastfeeding, pregnancy, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or blood pressure, anything like that, please consult with your healthcare provider first before starting any supplement at all. There are a lot of scientific research studies being done over the last 10 years at major universities. So you can go to PubMed, you can go to some of these other third-party researchers, find a lot of clinical information. They are not funded by Prove It, but there is so much information about ketone salts, and the NAT is a ketone salt, where when we look at, and somebody asked about the Mexican ketones and the Keto Up is a free cell ketone. The Keto Nat is our hero product. It is a ketone, which is beta hydroxybutyrate, which is bound to a salt, which is sodium and a little bit of calcium. The free cell, which is the Keto Up, is actually the ketone is bound to itself. So the BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate, is bound to the beta hydroxybutyrate. So this is not taken like a shot. This is 2 servings. You want to actually take this and put one of these in 10 to 14 to 16 ounces of water and shake it up really good. Because of the health and regulations in Mexico, we could not use a sweetener that we use in here, although both have all natural sweetener. This has allulose with a little bit of stevia and erythritol. This is stevia and erythritol. So maintain our purity, the best product possible, to use an all natural sweetener that is gluten-free, dairy-free, kosher certified. We had to use a liquid. So this you take and you reconstitute with water. The Keto Kick, you do not reconstitute. This is meant to be a shot. This is 3 ounces. It is also a free cell ketone. It is bound to a little bit of potassium. It's specifically called a neuro boost. We have things called neurotropics. It's kind of a new word that's out, but specifically for your brain. There are some specific proteins in there, some other elements in there that actually help boost your brain chemistry, help increase and facilitate the function of your brain, the quicker that the synapses of your brain can communicate to each other. Because when you have a brain cell and a brain cell, there's a little gap here called the synaptic junction where all your chemicals transmit between each other, and it helps them fire between each other so they don't miss each other and fire, kind of like a little bit of I don't know, one of those Atari games kids used to play, or time at that, but it helps them communicate better to ensure that the message gets from one dendrite to the other one. So from one cell to the other cell, that they actually get that happening. Is specifically in the back of the blend. We do have a great little video on that that's a little bit longer than what I'm going to just chat about today, but this is taken like a shot. Don't dilute it, you just simply drink it up. So it's amazing. We have 2 different flavors on that. So if you haven't tried that, grab yourself some. Definitely feel the boost in that. A little bit specific potassium bound to that beta hydroxybutyrate, specific amino acids for that. So amazing, amazing, amazing new technology. Let me check the computer over here. We've got a few minutes left today. Don't forget that we have an amazing Vanilla Dream Pro, and the Pro is our ketone, beta hydroxybutyrate, with a little bit of MCT that your body can turn into additional ketones with a ketone-friendly protein, hence the word Pro, Keto Pro, Vanilla Dream Pro. And it was fun because we all kind of got to guess and vote on the flavor. So Jennifer says, before breaking the fast, should we drink pure therapeutic ketones and the Mitoplex? So that's really up to you. When it comes to Mitoplex, a Mitoplex is our electrolyte. You can actually do the Mitoplex. So if you're a person who's doing intermittent fasting and you wake up in the morning, you have your water first, and you're trying to really push back and have a little bit more of a gap in the morning instead of breaking your fast at 9 or 10. Maybe you're trying to go to 10 or 11 so you get that optimal 8 hours of intermittent fasting. You can absolutely have a Mitoplex. You can take it straight and take the Mitoplex challenge, and you can put it straight into your mouth and have a nice drink of water with this. This will not break your fast. Your body needs electrolytes. They are essential for survival. Water plus electrolytes equals electricity in your body. However, you can absolutely mix them with a NAT. This is also going to create electricity and energy in your body. You can mix them together if you want. You can mix them apart if you want. You can actually mix 2 NATs if you want. You can do half strawberry, half lemon, a half lime thyme. You can mix those 2 if you want. That will also help increase, and it will not break your fast, and help increase that fasting time as you try to shift it forward as you build that fasting fasting muscle. And speaking of that, as we build a fasting muscle, not everyone just starts and says, hey, I'm gonna do a 60-hour reboot. That's why we have the Good, Better, Best program, where people start off and they do, and you get the reboot kit, and we guide you through that. Once you purchase that, we actually have a coaching group. We help you coach you through that. So maybe you go 18 hours the first time, which is fantastic. You're building that muscle. And the next month you go 32 hours. That's amazing. Then the next month you do one more sleep, and then you do 48 hours. And that's amazing too. So we help you build that fasting muscle. So great question there. Oh, the unicorn slam. If you've had the unicorn slam, drop a unicorn down below. So that's a great question. And we did, so during the reboot, which is our 60-hour metabolic program that we have to help reset and optimize your body's overall health, to create longevity, to slow down the aging process. We do coach you through that. So Carol's asking, how during the reboot, how many drinks can you have? So we do have a specific amount that's actually, I don't have the box listed on the box. However, during the reboot, we do coach you through that. If you feel like 2 ketones a day, 2 broths a day, and the Mitoplex is a little bit too much, you're feeling okay with just doing not the extra broth, we always coach and say you don't have to do the extra broth. This is just an optimal program. Everyone's body's different. Some people weigh 100 pounds doing this, and other people weigh 300 pounds doing this. People have different metabolic needs, their bodies run at different rates. So it can vary from person to person. You don't have to do everything on the box. It's just a suggestion. So great question there. Yes, products come with or without caffeine. So if it comes in a colored package, that's a great question here. This means charged or with caffeine, which is the same amount as with about a cup of coffee. And the white packets means without caffeine. And the same is true on the Mexican ketones. They're going to be colored. This is an uncharged, so this has no caffeine in it. And just kind of go, if you already are drinking tea that has caffeine, coffee that has caffeine, then we know that caffeine stays in your body about 5 to 6 hours after consumption. Caffeine is a great thing. It has a lot of natural benefits for your body, especially as you start to age. Caffeine, the kind of caffeine we do, which is a high quality anhydrous caffeine, binds to the beta hydroxybutyrate to help facilitate and help the uptake into the cell. We know as we age, things work a little bit slower, so it can help the uptake. However, you don't want to do too much caffeine, because caffeine can be dehydrating. Too much caffeine can also compete for your iron if you have a tendency to be anemic. Too much caffeine throughout the day, especially if it's a poor quality of caffeine, if in a coffee or a tea, it can actually cause you to deplete your body of B12, B6, also iron as well. So just make sure you're not over drinking coffee or caffeine. So that's why you have the great option of doing an uncharged NAT or the uncharged of the ketone, of the Mexican ketones. But the Keto Kick has 100 milligrams of caffeine. So again, you could do that mid-morning, mid-afternoon, right before a workout. Taste amazing. That's all I can say, is it tastes amazing. So Lori, they will be called uncharged if they're without caffeine, and charged if they have caffeine. And it will be right on the label underneath the ingredients. Like this one says right here, caffeine 100 milligrams. It's right on there. On the website, when you click on the product, it will give all the full disclosure. I know we are out of time today, friends. And Jennifer, I would say yes, you could take it during the reboot. Because it is less than 1 carbohydrate. So you could absolutely take it during the reboot, during your 24-hour fast. Absolutely, you sure could. Great question, now that we have that to offer. So thank you guys again for joining me. My name is Dr. Heather Carden. I am so blessed and privileged to be here with you today to help better answer all your questions. Henna, the Nat Light is all caffeine free. The Nat Light only comes caffeine free. Get that one more question there today. Again, let us know where you're joining from. Don't forget to go grab yourself some of that Vanilla Dream Pro before it runs out. It seems like everything is running out and selling out super quick these days. You guys have an amazing day. Don't forget to put down replay if you're watching the replay. If you're drinking a Unicorn Slam today, because we heard somebody else was drinking Unicorn Slam, put that down. If you finish your reboot, the May reboot that is, let us know which reboot that is for you. Thanks for all the hearts. You guys have an amazing day and keep on proving it. We will see you later. Bye-bye.